right, welcome back to the CaveCast. This is episode number 23. It is, what's the date today? It's 11/15, 2014, coming to you alive from the cave. I figured alive would be, sounds cool to say coming to you live, but we're not live, so.
The only way it would be live is if you're actually in here right now.
That familiar, sexy, sultry voice you hear is Kines back with me. The usual crew in, which is, I guess this is the usual crew. Munk Diggity Dog in the house.
Yes, we're definitely alive.
For now.
So welcome back. First and foremost, what I wanted to talk about was we lost another legend this week. Big Bank Hank from the Sugar Hill Gang. I wanted to I said a little bit on my Facebook about it, but it was even though I came across Sugar Hill Gang at a way later time than they initially came out, because I think I was -4 or something when they came out. They had a big effect on me musically wise. Was in 6th grade. I was in and my buddy Ramon's, well, I don't know why I'm talking to you guys like you don't know Ramon. I was in Ramon's car. Well, his mom's car. She was taking us wherever she used to take us to and fro back in those days. And he's like, you ever heard Rapper's Delight? And I was like, no. And Maxine, his mom, she's like, are you kidding me? You have not heard Rapper's Delight? And I was like, no. At the time I listened to Tupac. I had Doggy Style on tape.
Probably some Biggie.
Some Biggie. I remember I had a single of Sir Mix-a-Lot that had the big booty one, and on the backside it had
Testarossa.
Huh?
That Testarossa song.
No,
What, is that what it was called?
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
No, I had a same thing.
What's the hit called? I can't even think of what it's called.
Baby Got Back?
Yeah.
I had the same thing. It was a single with Baby Got Back on one side, and on the other side, it was a song about a Ferrari Testarossa, I think is the name of it.
Okay, well, the weird thing is, I had the single. On the B-side of that, it was a song called Cake Boy.
Huh. So we just had different B-sides.
I think it might have been about like a gay dude, maybe, or like a
Cake Boy.
an effeminate, like a pussy or something. I don't know.
I've only heard those two songs, by the way.
Really? Yeah.
Most people just know
you never
Baby
heard
Got Back.
what, Posse on Broadway?
No.
It's all taken up octaves.
I liked, when I was a kid,
God.
like everybody else, I liked Baby Got Back because it was funny and it was about asses. And
Yeah. The video was
who
funny.
didn't like that video when it first came out? It's as goofy as it is now.
Okay, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
The other tape I had was Young MC. And again, I don't remember Young MC, but it had like the one where he's rapping incredibly fast. He was the fastest rapper at the time. He had the hits, the couple hits that he had, but this one had. Anyways, so that was the kind of music. Oh, Bone Thugs and Harmony too.
Yeah,
that was. They also had a big effect on my.
I liked Naughty by Nature back in that era.
Yeah. Low PP.
Yeah.
My only problem with the Sugar Hill Gang was that they
shit.
write that song.
Yeah, did
that
you
was
see?
the only argument.
Oh, really?
No, we'll get into that in a second.
Now we're going to shit all over the place.
I meant this to be a sweet thing.
The truth about this.
Marcus just ruins my dedication and my celebration.
It's a wonderful song.
Yeah, okay, so she pops the tape in, and I proceed to listen to something I thought only like Little Wing and Freebird were songs over 4 minutes.
Right.
I thought those were the only kinds that existed. I'd never heard a hip hop song that, what was it, like 8 minutes long or 9 minutes long?
I think it was longer than that.
Yeah, maybe 12, yeah.
Yeah, it was up there.
And it was so much different because I didn't know about the old school. I didn't know about Rakim at the time. I didn't know about EPMD
Big
or
Daddy
anything
Kane.
like that. Yeah. And it was so different to what I was used to, and like it kind of like opened up my mind to looking into the other older stuff.
You also said something in your post about it that I thought was like interesting, which was one of the things that you liked about it when you heard it was that it was a different attitude. They were having fun. Like, that would be that is a big difference. You know, if when you're in the gangster rap
Ice Cube
phase,
coming up on Ice Cube,
right?
and,
Like everything we were listening to at the time was pretty much gangster, murder. You know,
because they're trying to fill them prisons up, son. Oh, throwback to last week,
right? And braggadociousness and stuff, but they were like just having a good time.
Yeah, and
it was
yeah,
like
it was
different vibe altogether.
And shortly after that, I think I saw my first house party movie, which was another kind of, it was the same.
The Kid and Play.
Yeah, just rocking a mic at a party and stuff, and that really had an effect.
Top fade.
Oh my God. I'm glad that started to make a comeback in like college basketball in the recent years, and then all of a sudden it stopped. I really hope the high top fade was
Swaggy P messed that all up.
So the dude that died,
Big Bank Hank, yeah.
was he the big name in the group, or what'd you say? Because I don't know the individuals.
I can't, neither do I.
Now, next
yeah.
on the mic is my man Hank. Come on,
Yeah.
Hank, sing that song.
Right.
And that was Eric Sermon's part when they did the remix. I'm hip to dip, the ladies pick, women fight for my. Yeah, and
Oh man.
And so yeah, it just kind of, it made me a little sad. It didn't make me as sad as like Robin Williams or who like
Yeah.
Mike Tyson whenever that time comes.
Right.
But yeah, fucking rest in peace, man. They had a large effect, and that beat, man. I'm sure they used it from an old funk song that I don't know enough about.
They definitely did.
So what Marcus was talking about was they had a and I get your point on they didn't write it.
Hey, I like it. I'm
But-
not saying I don't like it.
I didn't
I'm
even
saying-
know that till
Okay, so
till you said that.
the story was, and you'll probably know as much, if not more, than me, because I think we watched the
About
same
the same.
thing. A lady put that whole thing together. This lady, there was, God damn it, I just realized I know nothing about this, and I think I watched it
Drunk history.
half asleep. That's what it was. Okay, yeah. God damn it.
There's a drunk history on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I've seen almost every one.
I thought it was fucking some kind of documentary.
It was.
Well, drunk history. They are usually
Yeah.
using facts
Yeah,
for the most part.
and I'd heard it before that they hadn't written that song.
You guys are
I
gonna
didn't
have to-
know the whole story behind it. but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to show me which, because I've seen almost every junk history, and that would be awesome.
Who was in that? There was some.
It was the I think isn't that the
God, could
big
you-
black
Do you imagine if
chick
Patrice
from-
O'Neal was alive?
the big black chick from American Horror Story?
Oh, okay.
She is, I think, one of the
woman that put it
puts
together.
Yeah, she acts that part out.
Yeah, they kind of just got. It was like hip hop really wasn't a thing. Like
Right.
dudes would rap on the corner and stuff like that, but it wasn't like a thing that was put together and produced and everything.
They were rappers
And
for sure.
yeah, and they kind of started off a big fucking movement that was supposed to die in the late '80s, and then it was supposed to die in the mid '90s with fucking Tupac probably.
Everybody
and-
in hip hop.
They started the movement,
Yeah, everybody
really.
in hip hop seems to draw their
Nas-
line back to
Nas couldn't kill it.
right to their big
Hip-hop
bang
was on life support.
their big bang seemed to be Rapper's Delight.
Yeah.
Like that's where usually it goes back to. And even Blondie, like
Yeah,
Blondie
She
did a
was
rap.
spitting a little bit of rhymes.
Rapture.
Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
Rapture. I mean, but all that came probably from Rapper's Delight, and people
yeah.
were like, "What's this?"
Yeah, and that's where.
She
What?
didn't write it either.
I don't doubt that.
I know.
But they had dudes. They had dudes that weren't necessarily frontmen. Basically, write the shit.
Yeah.
And
Well, that was the song. That was the model back then, anyways.
yeah,
Most people,
Yeah,
a lot of people didn't write their own shit. It's weird that it worked out as like a pop song, that it
Yeah.
ended up becoming a pop song and then launched a whole movement.
yeah. And
One
then,
song and one
and
group.
it even took a while for hip hop to get started, even from then too,
Mm-hmm.
because the big first boom wasn't until like the mid to late '80s. That was when the New York scene really exploded with Rakim and EPMD and all the, you know, like you said, Big Daddy Kane, all the legendary guys hadn't even really made it across the country yet.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of started there. And so, yeah, it
always makes me think of a Jay-Z line when I listen to real old school stuff. And you know how they're kind of like not quite in beat sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I don't know the song, but Jay-Z said in a line in a song that was like, "I'm new school. That means I pop pills and stay in beat."
Well,
that's what I always think of when I listen to some older songs is, you know, because everything hadn't been fleshed out yet.
Right.
You know, it was raw and
it was
like
perfected.
right.
Yeah.
That didn't make it bad. It was just different.
That actually reminds me, one of the first songs I ever did way back in the day was with a guy named Bernard, a black dude from New York. And I remember on his old MySpace, back in the MySpace days, he had like a little bio about himself, kind of, you know how they used to have.
Yeah.
But one of the funniest things was he said, Jay-Z, you know, Biggie, blah blah blah, his favorite rappers and stuff, and then the last sentence was, "I fucks with the foundation of hip hop, but you know niggas is boring." and that stayed with me forever because that was right around the time when I was getting into Rakim, when I was like 20 or something. Yeah,
made it not boring.
Yeah, and
when he went solo.
So it's the time when all of our legends are gonna start fucking going, man. Like. I mean, we're almost.
No, I don't like that.
We're almost 30, but like it's gonna, you know.
What?
Watching
almost 30. Shit.
Watching Kobe the other night,
Damn.
It made me think the same thing. I was like, wow, my whole life, like,
yeah,
legends are gonna start whether you like Kobe or not. There's not going to be a Floyd Mayweather pretty soon. There's not going to be
thank God.
There's not going to be a Kobe Bryant. And then you're going to watch like big name actors, rappers that we've known that have always been here just going to start falling off, and the new school literally will be in
and we'll be comparing our people we idolized to the new school and going, nah, they do it.
We're gonna be like, you fucking kids don't know anything.
In our day,
yeah,
this game isn't even like it used to be.
Right.
It's actually that's an interesting segue because I do think about that a lot, like becoming more and more like my dad, and me and Kines were just talking about, like, we're at an era where we start. Not necessarily seeing where they were coming from. Sometimes seeing where they're coming from, like Marcus just said, but
totally in a lot of ways. That's like I was saying to him outside. You know, my dad used to be a lot more of a Democrat than he is now. He seems to be going hardcore conservative. Natalie's dad was the same way. He went from like Democrat to hardcore conservative. Yeah. And I was talking to Natalie about it, and I was like, what scares me about that is I respect Natalie's dad. I respected him because he passed away as a really smart guy, because he is. He's way smarter than me. I mean, the dude used to map the ocean floor with a computer for the Navy. I mean, my dad's a smart guy. So it makes me wonder, like...
who couldn't map the ocean floor?
Makes me wonder, like, are these... Do you become a conservative when you get older because you've gained knowledge and you're right? Or is it because you're more jaded... and pissed off? And I don't want to believe it's the jaded part because nothing else makes sense, but it's just odd. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it's sort of like a metamorphosis into that type of
right.
Because I don't think it's necessarily jaded. I think that they start seeing it in a different point of view than they used to, and think like, hey, I don't have a lot of time left, and it becomes more about other things like money and that, and I think they think about their family, and that's just, I think, more conservative views fall into that category.
That's why I don't know about jaded and pissed off really necessarily, because I feel like I've been jaded and pissed off for like 10 years now.
Maybe it's flipped. Maybe we're the ones that are actually jaded,
or maybe it's idealistic. Maybe that's what we are, and
it makes sense. what Mark's saying is probably most accurate is that your values change as you get older.
Right.
So it goes from like, let's protect the world and feed everybody to, I just want you to leave my fucking taxes and my guns alone. And I want to be able to raise my family without the government and my fucking business.
Exactly.
So it's like you said, it's probably just a changing of core values. Instead of your core values in the middle, what you most care about being like equality and taking care of the poor, that gets replaced with leave my fucking money alone and shut up about, like... So
keep the fucking Mexicans out of here.
God. Damn it, I worked hard for this.
Right.
Right.
Because if you were a person that could incorporate everything into your value system, first of all, you'd go crazy, and you'd also be split on which side to go on, because realistically, both sides care about things that matter.
Exactly.
But they don't agree on how important whatever the other side's what they care about most is. Mm-hmm. And even when they do care about it, they don't always agree on how to get there either.
Right.
So that could have a lot to do with it.
Yeah. I'll always remember when we had government class in high school, and you had to hit Mr. Bass. I think he was the government teacher, right?
Yeah, he was. Yes, great.
He had us fill out. Shouts to Mr. Bass. He had us fill out
It's the first time he's ever been shouted out.
Mr. Bass. Well, anyways, he had us fill out a questionnaire that the answers all added up showed you where you stood politically.
Right.
I remember that.
And I remember going home one day and talking to my dad about it, and I told him, you answer all these questions, a test, questionnaire thing, and he's like, so where'd you stand? Mine was, I ended up libertarian was where I kind of fell into, actually like pretty solidly into libertarian.
It makes sense.
And I remember my dad telling me, he's all that's what I would have considered myself, back then when I was your age. And he's like, I felt if I, as I was getting older and started a family and stuff, like my views kind of changed on things. And, and maybe, I don't know, I guess.
Well, there's already been one metamorphosis with us, and that's that we even care. I mean, we did go from like, and we even our friends who I'm jealous of, the ones that don't care. I might judge them sometimes, but they're at more peace than the people that pay attention to this stupid game show and care about it. Like, we are literally, when you get roped into this stuff, it becomes
running on a treadmill,
right?
Like you're working your brain muscles, but you're not really getting anywhere.
We talked about disinformation, and I'm sure it's easy to get your head spun out of control if you pay too close attention to this stuff.
I just wish, like, there's times where I wish, like, I could go back to when I could give a fuck less. Like, I remember passing the news. My grandpa would be watching the news, and I'd just be like, how could you fucking watch this shit for 2 hours or even care? Like, they don't care about you. You're not in the club. No matter how much news you watch, you might feel like you're in the club, but you're not a part. But then, 30 years old, and now I'm like arguing people about gun laws and like, it's already happening in some ways. Like, that's what I meant. My dad is smarter than me. I mean, that's just it. He's been on the planet longer. He's a smart guy. Our dads are usually smarter than us. That's why it's like so conflicting, where when your dad is saying things that's, maybe the opposite of what you think at the time, and you're stuck in this position where you're like, but my dad is smarter than me, and I usually go to him. But it seems like lately everything we disagree on, and me and my dad are having that issue right now. But then you have to wonder, like, well, what does that mean? Does that mean that I just haven't caught up to him, or is this just an open debate that hasn't been finished yet? Or
I think it's your core values haven't or still different from his because you don't have the same things that like we were talking about earlier to worry about. So it really, I think, depends on what path your life takes
and what you care about the most.
Yeah, and what ends up, the choices you make down the road to what eventually it's going to you're going to be, I think.
It's not always so simple as who's right and who's wrong. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, there's so much gray area.
So much gray area. Word. Maybe you get more gray area as you get older.
I have more gray area on my face.
You're gonna be a Republican as soon as you got half and half salt.
I got wizard hair coming out of my beard now too. It's weird.
So speaking of which, I want to read the first comment on the last CaveCast. Kines, you don't go to prison for smoking pot. Usually takes a felony to end up there unless it's a violation of your parole, but not just for smoking it. And my dad wrote smoking it, SMOKIN. This is for my dad, but you know about it. But sounds like he's calling you out.
He did call me out,
and
I took it out on my children because I fly into a rage when anybody challenges anything I say.
As you should. I'm
not gonna go find your dad who can defend himself.
Drop Stone Cold Stunner.
Obviously, because the government hasn't taken his guns yet. Too.
I just fly into a rage and beat my children.
Oh God!
But I think since he's a gentleman, I would say I'm a gentleman. There's only one way to handle a situation like this, and that's a duel, and that is a dance off.
I think
the gauntlet thrown down.
Okay. Oh shit.
Unless he accepts, in which I forfeit.
Little did you know that my dad was 1979 Oakland High dance battle champion.
Jesus
so
Christ.
I don't know if you knew that, but he's never turned down a challenge, and frankly, I don't think he's going to take you seriously.
I just want to be able to say whatever I want and have, whether it's true or
to
not.
To whoever you want, whenever you want, however you want.
Right. And whether it's true or not, nobody ever gets to call me out on it. Ever.
Well, I think it's not fair that it was via Facebook and you guys didn't get a chance to try to yell louder than the other one.
That's true.
Like you said, you like to get your O'Reilly on.
He didn't give me a chance to find any incriminating evidence on him to destroy his character.
Right.
Any of that stuff. It's just not fair to blindside me like that.
Well, now we can maybe handle this in the streets on a sheet of cardboard.
If it comes to that,
with a sick ass breakbeat playing in the background.
Rapper's delight. Dance off.
Boom. Hey, callback. Turned it right around. Yeah. So I mean. What would you call your dad? What do you think his political leanings are? Monk diggity.
I would say he's probably as far away from conservative as you can get.
I was gonna say
my dad.
Yeah,
my grandpa, my mom's dad is also. He's not every dad I'm saying is like this. My grandpa's
core
still,
values.
Right.
He doesn't. My dad. My dad.
Yeah.
He had a girlfriend for 17 years after my mom and him divorced, and we lived with my mom, and went to my dad's every other weekend.
Yeah.
And my dad came to all my sports games, but he didn't have that responsibility. I feel is, like probably another dad had that's around his child. More.
Plus running a whorehouse out of his house probably wasn't the... Oh, shit.
We weren't supposed to say
that's
Dan.
That's as democratic as it gets, right?
Also, my dad likes to point out that he doesn't consider himself a Republican. But everything that's coming out of his mouth is super conservative lately, and it might just be that he's so upset with the administration and the way things have gone that he's just, he's exuding that,
right?
But like if a Republican president takes over in 2016, you might see him go more Democratic. I don't know, but it's just interesting that me and Natalie were talking about how our dads used to be so much more Democrat, and then they got super conservative, seemingly older in age.
Right. Like even when talking to my dad, I feel like he's a lot more close to libertarianism than he would ever admit, because I think that while most of his values fit into the right, I think he feels like, that's my label. And but I mean, he and then the taking their guns away thing is, he's a hunter. He's,
Me too. I got guns. I care about it. That's why every
time got guns too. What up, sons?
That's why every time I read these stories, I will. If you post a story that says they're taking our guns away, well, at first, I'll read it. But the issue, like, the problem is that you after you read fucking 35 of these stories, right, and then find out that they never 6 years. We are 6 years into President Obama.
Yeah, you better get those guns real quick. He's almost out of time.
From day one, we are
it's going to be a Republican in the office again after this.
Well, here's why I don't understand why people even believe it. I can understand believing that they want to. I believe the government would rather that we were all disarmed.
Yeah. They want us fat. They want us used to seeing violence.
You can get me to buy in on that. I believe the government wants that. But the reason why I don't believe that neither party wants to be the party that rapes the Second Amendment. Because why? Because not only will they be fought tooth and nail and not pull it off, but even if they did pull it off, that party would never get elected again. So you think Obama is going to be the first president that just totally tanks the whole Democratic Party by taking everybody's guns away?
Yeah. They wouldn't let him, even if it was like everybody thinks that holds impeach Obama signs on the side of the freeway.
Yeah.
If it was like that, which it's not. He's not the fucking commander in chief. My ass. He doesn't. He
doesn't make the call.
He's a face. But
very handsome one of that.
They wouldn't. Nobody would let him. With a big ass dick, I heard.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Not because he's black, just because he's
has a big dick.
Just because he's half black.
Yeah. But yeah, they wouldn't let him do it. I don't necessarily, the words, Illuminati and cabal and all of those things seem like they make you sound real crazy conspiratorial.
Well, the New World Order already took place. It happened. I mean, I don't know about Illuminati and Freemasons and stuff.
Right. I think those are just titles, just like president.
But no one's gonna. Most people these days aren't gonna argue too much that the president doesn't have that much power. That the politicians are owned by the time they get into office by corporations. The New World Order already. Went into effect.
Those are the ones that are facts. Is where you can't. My uncle is a good determination or a good example of that. He ran without putting money, without having money backers, without he ran without putting up big signs on the freeway like the other two guys, and he got crushed.
Yeah,
and that's just a small town version of.
Why your uncle got crushed is. Well, why would you think?
Because that's why
he's not part of that. He's not part.
He's new to it. He's not.
They don't allow.
He didn't have big money backers. The two other guys that like he said, they got dragged out about bankruptcy and not paying taxes,
and he didn't want to play the game.
And so it's not like they're paying for the gigantic signs on the side of the freeway that say their names. They're not paying for it.
Well, it's like Serpico or Training Day. Like the dirty cops.
Everybody a dirty cop?
The dirty cops, one of the first things they want to do is get you to take a cut so you're in. Like you're part of it. And in both of those movies, they're like, I can't accept that.
Well, just like when you go like you're hanging out with people that are doing drugs, they're like, do it. Well, what I've heard, they're like, do a line, because I'm sure you're a new guy on the scene. Everybody's looking at you with the side eye.
They want to make sure you're down.
Yeah, what's up with this motherfucker? But he just did a line with me.
That's cool. Like,
he's in with me now. Like
at the very least, he's as guilty as I am.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you don't stick out.
Yeah. then you get tossed in the bucket with the rest of the crabs.
Yep. I think
that
there's
makes me itch.
that world that exists to just the 1%. That like we have no idea about, just the most secret of secret shit going on, and that's what I would say, the people in charge, the New World Order that has kept a blanket over everyone else to keep them from being
there's
able to see.
something, and it's obviously the people with the most money.
And
It's
they're
just
calling
yeah.
the shots.
And
people with
they
the
have the
most money
means.
are trying to make even more of the most money.
Yeah.
And they just do things to make sure that it stays that way, or it gets even better, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I read a book. It's a series of books by Jesus Christ.
They're not
Mayberry.
lizards.
Jonathan Mayberry.
They're not really lizards.
They could be. Donald Rumsfeld, just answer this one
He
wouldn't-
question.
he wouldn't
Are
say he
you a
wasn't.
lizard? Now, could you imagine if I answered that question?
Like Lucy.
The other lizards would be really mad. That's my Rumsfeld. I
You don't
haven't
have
really
to be
worked on it before.
a phase shifting lizard to be a greedy asshole.
Have you seen the videos and the pictures that people post?
Yes, I love that shit. I love it. I'll
Where
watch it for hours
they
on
think,
YouTube.
They
man.
think that they're catching people in the middle of transformations. Like his
tongue flicked.
his disguise slipped a little bit. Look at this. And
Did you see him snatch that fly out of thin air with his fucking lizard tongue? And the sad part is I'll sit and I'll watch.
did you see him sticking to that wall over there?
Oh, fuck.
I'll go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing how ridiculous it is, and I'll still I remember watching a video, and it was Obama or Bush, I can't remember, and the evidence.
Oh, Bushma.
And they super slow mode it was his tongue. All he did was like lick his lip real fast to make it probably wet. You know, like.
Well, yeah,
you know?
they have dry skin.
Right.
Politicians, I mean.
No, that's not what it was. He had been on stage too long, and his lizardness slipped up. And what it wasn't just the tongue flip. He had to suddenly leave right after the tongue flip. That was what was.
Oh, yeah.
'cause he was like, "I'm sorry, we're gonna have to
His
shut it down
disguise
there. I
was
gotta
starting
go."
to show through.
He was gonna fucking.
He need to get his
lizard
makeup-
out any second, and he had to get off the stage.
All of these are reasons why I'm in the process of transforming my body into a chiseled machine of the revolution. I'm going to get all Patrick Bateman and listen to Huey Lewis in the news and
like
fucking
the-
masturbate.
Review albums while you're
Dude,
corpses.
on American Horror Story.
Well, yeah, they got that guy.
Straight from.
Do you watch that
American
show,
Psycho.
American Horror Story?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Straight from American Psycho.
Oh, they pulled it straight. There's a character in there that's fucking Patrick Bateman to a T. To where
I am going to be the most.
and he's
best
flexing
killing
in the
machine.
mirror.
Yeah.
And
I liked American Psycho.
oh yeah, did you read the book?
Yeah.
Oh my god. And I say that a lot. When somebody says they like a movie, I go,
I
"Did
didn't
you read
think
the
he
book?"
really killed
and I
anybody.
still, every time I say it, I feel like the biggest cunt in the world.
Well, I do it too.
Did you read the book? The book was so much better.
It usually is.
I don't know why I got
I mean,
a little lispy there.
the books just have more depth to them that
Yeah,
the directors can't get away with.
they
in
have more
movies.
rats eating their ways into vaginas.
Right.
I don't read books, so I'm sort of ignorant to that type of
Well,
question.
I mean, you have to be able to read
Yeah.
to read books.
I never learned to read.
I
I
don't know
usually
how I learned to talk.
I like that in American Psycho when he's sitting in the office and he's confessing
Yeah,
and he's like, I guess I'm a pretty sick guy, you know. Like that's my favorite part. Is when,
he's this close to just fucking, he's just exploding.
and nobody believes him.
sick
That's my
guy.
favorite part. Is he?
Well, see, the book
The next
didn't
day they're
clear
like,
that
"Oh,
up
you're
to me
so
either. Was that it's like, okay, is he imagining all this stuff? That's
Did
still
he
to
do
this
it?
day, like,
Yeah, I think the point of it, what I took from the book was like,
was there
these people are
motherfucking
so-
snakes on this
Average
motherfucking
American
plane?
Psycho.
right.
Like it's us in our room at night.
It's
sitting
about
there by
how
ourselves.
it's about how these Wall Street guys are sociopaths, and they have no moral landscape
Well,
whatsoever. Like they're just so turned off. They don't even. Everybody looks the same to them. You know, they don't
Right.
know if they call him like one guy thinks he's this guy, another guy thinks he's this guy because they all comb their hair the same way and
Yeah.
wear the same suits and.
I forget the guy's name that they kept confusing him for.
God.
Anyways, that would have been a great reference to throw out there right now if I had any
semblance of a memory.
My favorite part, other favorite part.
You remembered something.
I think he's reviewing a fucking Phil Collins record while he's murdering
he did.
somebody.
He
That is awesome. Like
he does Phil Collins, Huey Lewis, Whitney Houston.
He gets them going.
He does really great album reviews. That's the thing.
Yeah, he gets in depth.
Could have been a good album reviewer.
I never would have known that Tower of Power had a horn section on Huey Lewis albums if it wasn't for Patrick.
Karen.
Yeah.
Like Karen holding that axe. Did you know?
Yeah, it kind of related to that. I've been listening, and I just told Marcus he couldn't read. I've been listening to an audiobook at work.
I can read too, just to throw that out there.
I seen him.
I synced him. Been listening to the Mike Tyson Undisputed Truth audio biography.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But that's he being as famous as he is. Those kind of people want to hang out with him, and there's some scenarios where he's hanging out with like Saudi princes and on these boats where it's just like.
Does he out some of those motherfuckers as being the lizards that they are?
Not yet. He hasn't seen a lizard just yet.
Not necessarily the lizard shit, but just does he?
Sort of, but it's not quite as seedy as all of that. But it's like, they know he loves pussy, so they, they're like, oh, go into this room, Mike, and then there's 12 chicks for him to pick from, and he picks they pick one, and he picks 4 of them, and they're like, all right, and they have these harems and fucking all these connections with fucking gun runners and just
I heard him on
Chechnyan fucking
the Opie and Jim show. He said something like Opie alluded to him knowing some maybe powerful Russians.
Yeah.
But they never got into
Chechnyan.
Is that what it was?
There's a Chechnyan, like, I don't know if he was a prince or he was the guy in charge. And all these politicians, in Russia, and is it John F. Kennedy Jr. or Robert Kennedy Jr.?
JFK Jr., I think.
He visited him in prison and kind of... I didn't know Mike went to prison more than one time. I thought just the rape case.
So did I.
He went back because he was pretty deep into coke at the time, and him and his wife got rear-ended, and he got out and whooped some ass on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And he was on probation from the rape case thing. And but yeah, it's fucking great, really. Like, you get
I want to read it.
There's a lot of stories in there, and
does he read the audiobook?
No. That's the only thing that I didn't like about it.
They probably didn't have him do it because he's such a bad speaker. It would have
taken 12 years to record.
Yeah.
Can we do that one again, Mike?
Mike on Broadway. Though.
Yeah, Mike. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do another one of those.
He did that one man show
in
based
Las
on
Vegas.
It. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Natalie. Given though, Natalie was like, I can't understand a fucking word he's saying, but it was good.
The best parts are listening to him talk about all the times he fucked Don King up.
Yeah,
like I think he kicked Don King in the head more times.
That's awesome.
More times than fucking Donald Cerrone has kicked somebody in the head.
That Mitch Green story.
Oh my God, the Mitch Green one, because he goes,
you
knock this motherfucker down, and he got up like fucking like some kind of zombie or something. He was on PCP, and Mitch Green's following him. It seems like Mitch Green's just haunting him, and he's like, I was in a restaurant and I look out the window and I was all seen some dude riding a bike down the street, and I double take, and I was like, is that motherfucker Mitch Green? And the dude gets off the bike, and it's Mitch Green. He bangs on the window. Mike, you faggot! You never beat me. And it's just like every time he sees him, you didn't beat me, and then he beats him up again.
It's so funny. That whole scene he sets up where he's watching Mitch from the back seat of the car in the mirror, and then Mitch just disappears and then lands on and comes down and breaks the mirror off.
Yeah. Oh, that whole thing was. He beat the shit out of him because he kept getting back up and he kept putting him back down. And
go look up the pictures of Mitch Green after Mike Tyson beat him up on the streets.
Let's look him up right now. I'm gonna look this shit up.
He looks like a mess, man.
But the funny thing was he beat him up, and he's all, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And he hops in the car and tells his driver, go. And the driver goes, I can't. He's underneath the wheel. And that's when he popped up in the mirror and broke the mirror off.
He's like he's the Terminator or something, you know?
Yeah, he said he broke his fucking orbitals and...
Oh, dude, he fucked Mitch Green up hardcore.
He's got raw. Yeah, his left side of his face is stroked.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember
the
incident. I remember seeing the pictures and everything and thinking, Jesus.
This right here.
Holy shit.
This picture right here.
Yeah, that's it. It looks
to the right side,
it looks like somebody
face.
threw Play-Doh at the right side of his face and it just stuck there and mashed all of his features.
And what makes the story even funnier is that he has a Jerry curl. Like, he looks exactly...
I didn't know what he looked
and
like
a
until just
humongous
now.
Earring.
Yeah, he looks exactly like you would want him to, listening to the story. Like,
God damn.
Tyson's awesome.
Yeah, I was really sad that he wasn't actually reading the book. But yeah, I've been looking up Tyson fights like every day when I get home from work, fucking, because he goes through every one of his fights. It seems like,
No, that's
and
awesome.
talks about them.
That's why I want one of the big reasons I want to read it.
Like he loves biting motherfuckers.
Yeah, every street fight it seems like he bites somebody.
He couldn't get when him and Lennox Lewis, the time where he called the reporter a faggot, told him, I'll eat your asshole alive and make you love me and shit. Well, that was right after him and Lennox Lewis got in a scuffle, and he's all, Lennox Lewis was so tall. When we fell down, I didn't fall up where his head was. I fell on his legs, so I took a bite of his calf.
I remember Lennox Lewis was like, "You fucking bit me."
That's when he went off on the reporter, because the reporter goes, put that guy in a straitjacket.
Yeah.
You white faggot. You
I'll
just
fuck you till you
Come
love
say
me.
that to my
yeah. Come say it to my face, you bitch.
He does. Yeah, he's full on admitted biter.
Yeah. He bit Don King. He bit Holyfield before he took the chunk of the ear off. He bit him twice.
I would let.
The real deal.
I would agree to be waterboarded for a week straight if I could watch a video of him beating up Don King or just slapping.
There's so many of them, so many stories, because he
fucking ruined boxing, man. Don King is instrumental.
He's a piece of shit.
To why boxing
Wasn't he a
is the way it
murderer?
is at this day.
Yeah, there's a section in the book where, because there's two murders that he got away with, or two, he killed two people that he got away with, but at one point, Don King got ghetto on one of Tyson's guys, and he actually scared him. Mike Tyson said, because he told him, I got 3 bodies, two of them they know about.
Yeah,
which mean he killed somebody
I
else.
don't doubt it for a second, dude.
And Mike Tyson went at him, and the 2 dudes that Tyson brought with him were so scared by Don King that they pulled Tyson off of him.
Like,
get off of him.
Yeah,
he kicked
this
his
motherfucker's
ass.
gonna
He
kill
kicked
us.
him out of the car on the freeway or something too.
No,
something like that.
Tyson was in the back seat, and he was so mad about, he had a actual $100 million lawsuit going on with him at the time, and he kicked him in the head from the back seat, and
That's so fucking funny.
and he tells this dude,
Millionaires kicking each other.
there's a chick, Mike Tyson's chick at the time was in the front seat with Don. I think it was his chick at the time, and he tells her, grab him, don't let him go, I'm coming around front. And he gets out to come around front. Well, Don King squirmed away from her.
I would have got my ass. I would have bit that girl and ran if I was Don King.
Well, he squirmed away from her, and when Tyson got out of the car, Don King, who was driving, fucking drove off, left Tyson on the side of the road.
Oh.
But Tyson's girl was in there, and Don King stopped when he was a safe distance away and let her out with Tyson's bag, which had a fucking half pound of weed and a brick of coke in it.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And the cops stopped and saw him, and it's Mike Tyson. What the fuck? Saw him on the side of the road with this bag, and they're like, where are you trying to go? And he's like, going down to this hotel. and they fucking gave him a ride with all the fucking half pound of weed and a brick of coke.
That's insane.
And gave him a ride to his hotel. And like, he's all, they never asked what I was doing on the side of the road or nothing.
That's what fame gets you, man.
Yeah,
that's
dude. Everybody wanted to chill with him.
Yeah.
Tupac went and saw him in prison and shit, and he goes through Tupac dying and everything.
Yeah, him and Pac were good friends, huh?
Yeah. Pac visited him in prison and almost got him in trouble because he's all, we need to do a concert for you right now. And he jumped up on a table and started rapping and shit.
Like Tupac did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mike's going, get down, motherfucker, get down. Fucking gonna get me put in the hole again.
He was, dude, it's like he's such a mixed bag of
greatness.
Yeah.
Because he's
you want to root for the guy.
He's a tragedy at the same time of being a legend.
And a piece of shit and a fucking
he's a horrible
cool
criminal
at
the same
turning everything around.
Right. He's a horrible criminal at the same time as being an amazing survivor.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing that he's still alive. But on the other he's like
he was drinking before 10. He watched his first person shoot heroin when he was 10.
Streets.
He shot at somebody on the street at 11, I think was. He had a rough upbringing, and then to have all that money by 19, 20 years old,
and
millions,
and to have the one guy who cared about you and was actually steering you in the right direction.
He died on him before he got the championship.
His only link to sanity at the time.
Cuss kept him in line, man, and he died.
Yeah.
And then the vultures descended, and then everything else that the public knows about Tyson from there on is what is mostly known about
the vultures.
And his public persona.
Did you ever see that documentary?
I'm gonna eat his children.
He's crying. He's like a teenager, and he's going in to fight in a tournament. Maybe it's the Olympics.
The Junior Olympics, probably.
And he's crying, and he's like, what he's concerned about, he's like, what if nobody likes me? Is what he tells Teddy Atlas.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is before anybody knows who he is. He's like, well, or something like that. He's worried. He's just worried about what.
He was a fat kid when he was younger, and
and Teddy Atlas is having to console him, and he's like, Mike, you're gonna be great. Everybody's in there, everybody's cheering for you. And then Mike goes in there and knocks the guy out in like 18 seconds or whatever it was. But it's just weird seeing that video of him. Like, that's how unsure of himself he was and unstable. Like, he was just worried that people didn't like him, And
well, even years later, it was when he was in Chechnya. He went to Russia. He went to Moscow. And then the Chechnyan guy that was the leader of Chechnya, he was like, you gotta come here. And he's like, everybody told me don't go to Chechnya because they just got done with some civil war or something like that. But he went anyways because the dude was a big boxing fan and was a huge fan of him. And this was when he was broke. Fucking, it was after 2000, after he stopped fighting. But he goes there and the same thing. There's a harem of chicks and he's, he says, pick one of them out. And he didn't want to pick one because he was afraid she wouldn't like him and she would have to go with him.
Mm-hmm. So, against her will.
Yeah. So he wouldn't pick. And the guy was like, does any of you ladies want to go with Mike? And every one of them did. And apparently he's got a huge hog too from, like he said the FBI, there's like 2 times where the fucking FBI SWAT raided his house. Like right after 9/11 it happened because some chick said he kidnapped her and raped her. Which he got off. That didn't happen. There's like 3 or 4 cases where chicks tried to, after the rape case, tried to get money.
Well, like,
buy me a new car and this will all go away.
He literally has like princes bringing him to harems and being like, choose.
Yeah.
Why would a guy why would he rape?
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever did. That's the thing. Is because
I don't think so.
Somebody pointed that out. I made the same argument about Kobe once when I was defending Kobe's rape
and
case.
Tupac.
Because I decided to take
in that. But not Ben, actually. Not
Big Ben.
Big Ben don't get the argument.
Big Ben did that shit.
Yeah. Did he?
Well, no, he got off. Stood outside of the bathroom while he was in the bathroom with her, so no one knows.
Well, that's the argument I was making. Is I was like, why would a rich, famous guy ever rape anybody? I mean, all Kobe has to do is go down to the bar. But then the person I was talking to pointed out that, well, rapists get off on that part of it. Like, if they have that part in their head, then whether they're rich, like, they want that part. They want the part where the girl says no because they're sick in their head. So it doesn't matter how many chicks they could get to say yes. If they get off on the forceful part, they're going to do it.
So anyone willing to rape is raping because
they like it.
That's the way they like to have sex.
Right.
Yeah,
and then they pointed out, like these guys that get so used to having everything they want and getting everything thrown at them in abundance.
Athletes.
They like sex the forceful way where they're being told no instead of like the normal
Something
way, like in a bathtub full of bacon grease, like you should.
Right.
It's
the spoiled rich kid syndrome.
Who knows what happened in any of those cases? But yeah, I went from being like, "There's no way to," well, maybe.
Well, he got offered. Tyson got offered. Said you can have an 90% chance you're gonna get out of prison 2 years early. He'd already done a year, and if you apologize to her and you settle for however much money, that was going through the courts. That was the deal that was on the table.
Yeah, all he had to do was say he was sorry.
"Fuck you."
Yeah,
because he didn't do it.
He said he didn't even have to say "I'm sorry for raping you." He just had to apologize.
Wasn't this bitch apologizing to me?
And he wasn't doing it. That's what makes me
took
think.
That deal though.
Yeah, Kobe. And yeah, she's fine. She's doing all right now, probably.
Yeah, and his wife got that big old diamond ring.
Yeah. Goddamn, I'm the king of fucking knowing when the story's gonna segue. Have you seen this video of? I think it was in L.A. This chick that was drunk. She's got a fucking beer in a bag. She's a hot chick, and she's drunk, and she's stumbling through the streets, and they're videotaping her, and these guys are coming up trying to take her home and all this stuff, trying to take advantage and get her to come with. "Oh yeah, you're fine, sweetheart. Come with me.
Yeah.
There's a bus stop right by my house. I got a waterbed. Blah blah blah." And she's just hammered. And well, it turns out, like, and there's like 4 dudes where you're just like you're watching, and you're going, "These pieces of shit.
Yeah, that's exactly
Are you
what
fucking kidding me?" Like these halfway, not full on like we were talking about rapist, where they get off on being told no and having to be forceful and shit, but still a rapist. Like if you're the video, and that's how they released it. They say, "Watch what happens," when there was a drunk girl on the road and blah blah blah. But she was pretending to be drunk. That was the whole. It was like
so it was a sting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and watch what happens. Well, turns out, it was not a sting at all. They told these dudes that they were going to be part of a skit. They found these dudes on the road and told them they're going to be part of a skit for this. And so, for 2 weeks though, that information was not out. This video was out as "Watch what these pieces of shit do."
Yeah, this is getting fucking ridiculous.
And it turns out they were told, just be part of this skit that we're filming for college or whatever.
They weren't gonna take anyone home.
No, they were basically more or less acting, and then watching the video as knowing that information, it's kind of obvious where you see the dude, and you're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Like these guys are really laying it on thick.
And what happens when you do that? Like then, so you make this video and you have everybody act it out like a commercial, but you lie or you at least withhold information dishonestly. And so when everybody finds out about that, your point, a good point that you made, gets lost in the fact that you deceived everybody and you were dishonest. So what you were hoping to accomplish either gets lost in a different conversation,
a step backwards.
Everybody just completely. It's the same thing about that video that I talked about last time and that I wrote. Is like her good point that she was making got lost in the fact that she used bad examples of harassment.
Yeah.
And so anybody that watches that video goes, "That's not harassment," and her whole point gets lost because she just made a simple bad choice of picking.
I think
some of it was harassment. I'm not saying, but some of that stuff in there, I think just falls under annoying and not harassing.
Right.
But her point gets lost.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say you should feel good about them saying this stuff to you.
Not.
But even if it's like, smile, have a nice day.
Right.
I could still see the annoying part of it. But
some of it falls under lame attempts to talk to women and would be annoying, and some of it falls under harassment. But not all of it is harassment.
And whoever's in charge of this stuff, like I don't know if it's Salon or Gawker or whoever's fucking making this movement go forward, this whole with that video and all these videos, and now the guy that landed on a comet in fucking outer space, he's getting interviewed, and he's got this real colorful weird shirt on, but it's got like provocative half-naked chicks on it. Somebody wrote a fucking article that
I mean the actual
the guy
What?
the scientist or
that
whatever
landed
that
on a
thing?
comet.
What?
Somebody wrote an article that his shirt was sexist.
He landed on a
Basic-
comet?
Oh,
Yeah.
You didn't hear about the
No, I heard Rosetta the
That's what he's talking
The
about.
stone.
the
No.
stone.
They landed a probe
Yeah.
on an asteroid or a
And
comet.
the guy who landed that probe,
is
yeah,
He was
had
being
that
interviewed,
shirt on.
and he had this button up. It was a fucking tacky shirt, kind of, but it was really
seen it.
colorful, and it had like naked chicks and
Jesus
and
Christ.
somebody wrote some fucking. I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna go out way far on a limb here and say some bitch
There's
wrote
fucking-
an article
there's fucking
about how his
nude-
shirt was sexist.
there's
It's like,
nude women in art all throughout the fucking history of mankind. People need to chill out.
well, that's why I brought it up. I saw a tweet that had Kim Kardashian's picture from this week, which
Lord have mercy.
it's gigantic. Kim Kardashian's picture right next to the dude being interviewed with the supposedly sexist shirt on.
Yeah.
And
Or Miley Cyrus.
and
take
the
your pick.
the quote said, "What I learned this week that this shirt is sexist and objectifies women, but this picture of Kim Kardashian's fucking ass
is empowering.
is
feminist.
not." Yeah. And it's like, fucking, who is running this shit? Because you're, like you said, you're fucking making people take a step back on.
Well, you'd lose it. You just. It's like if I was gonna try to make a point to you that, like, I don't know, whatever, and in that I put just a big giant picture of a cock. Like it's just
I would be thankful, but
you would lose anything that's gonna take away from your point or make you lose all credibility.
yeah, I'm
or,
gonna be busy masturbating.
Exactly. It's like you don't have to lie, or there really is cases of rape, there really is cases of harassment. We don't need to make fake videos or anything like that, or try to sensationalize shit to get a point across. Like, I think her point would have come across a lot better if she just would have pointed, instead of saying this is all harassment in the video, just saying this is what women have to put up with.
Yeah.
If she would have
Yeah.
simply said that instead of calling it all harassment,
Then it's like, oh man,
because
that sucks.
we
you
all
know?
watched that video and went like, man, it would suck to be a chick and have to put up with that shit.
Yeah.
It just would. I mean, for the most part, I wouldn't want to have to deal with fucking creeps following me down the street or telling me to smile. Like, that was a big argument a while back ago, the resting bitch face thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's one of my favorite groups of words.
me too. It's like
Resting bitch face.
guys telling girls to smile more. Girls don't like it
Right.
because, if they don't want to smile.
Who are you, man, to
Right.
tell me what I should do with my feelings?
But I would lose my shit on a girl if some fat chick just sitting on this, or any chick.
Yeah.
Sorry, any chick sitting on the side of the road, and I walk by and she's like, smile. I could see a day where I would lose my shit on her for that. Even
Yeah.
though it's not saying a bad thing, it's just like, fuck you, I'll do what I want with my face.
Then you bury him between her big fat tits.
Yeah. I'm like, well, if you don't want to, if you want me to smile, maybe get them titties out. And,
My whole point is people should not be sexist.
yeah. You can kind of see how my whole point about not being sexist just got lost in the shuffle. That's the feminist thing is like, I think somebody else pointed out, maybe it was you or somebody else, that it's like a wave, like it's all a reaction to the shit that they've been putting up with. And this is the pendulum kind of swinging back the other way, and it'll come back and it'll kind of hopefully rest somewhere in the middle of, since, people acting more sensible about fucking guys and girls.
My whole point is that
Penises and vaginas.
my whole point is that women should not be in charge of the feminist movement. You should get a good, responsible man to head this stuff up, because they're
Yes.
not doing it right.
Yeah. And a guy should probably also be in charge of whether abortion is illegal or not, because maybe we don't have to give birth, but we're obviously smarter, so we should probably be the ones that decide these important decisions.
And this having to be secretive and crush up a Plan B pill and sneak it into a drink, it's too stressful.
No, I could see why women are fighting back.
Yeah, the whole 24 hours after that, you have to do it again.
Yeah, well, if it's 48 hours, you have to just double up the pill, I think, is what.
That's what a lot of it is, though. A lot of it is just like social justice warrior people trying to take advantage of jumping in on something, and the other part of it is women are fighting back against shit that's been going wrong for a long time.
Right.
So
craziness. Way to save that. Now you're not going to be in trouble with the old lady.
That's how you do it. You say whatever you want, and at the very end, you just tie it up with a nice little bow.
A nice little pretty pink bow. And Marcus is keeping quiet because he doesn't want this to hurt his Tinder presence.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
how's that been going?
The segue.
Boom, I'm the king.
Your segues are on fucking
Here we
point
go.
tonight.
My old Tinder deal hasn't really got off to a rocket of a start.
End of segment. Next.
Damn it.
No, I actually started the account and deactivated
He
it
deactivated the account
because I haven't decided if I want to take a picture like this or without it, and I'm starting to think I like this, so I need to just.
So it's not canceled forever.
No, it's just deactivated.
It's on hiatus.
So because I have a picture that just says Monk.
Yeah,
on
it doesn't even show a picture of him.
Like,
Swipe.
Yep.
Swipe left.
Oh, those are cool neon letters.
Yeah.
I do not get it.
Do I want to gamble tonight?
I don't get a good idea of cock size at all from this picture.
Anyways, I will have this by next Saturday. I will have a better report.
Somebody had a good idea for a Tinder picture. I don't remember what comedian it was, so I don't want to take credit for it, but one comedian wrote, what you should put as your Tinder picture is a picture of a stack of money, a nice car, and a diamond ring, and then just leave that and just see what you get. So a big stack of money, a diamond ring, and a nice car.
Maybe a pencil mark at about the 9.5 mark on a ruler, right behind everything.
That like 4 boxes, and it'll just be like, here's what we know. This is what you want. Like here it all is.
Just put up there that you're Italian. They'll know you're packing some heat.
Or French,
because you was spawned by the Moors.
I really remember hearing on the radio once, and maybe you can check your info on this, but allegedly, French men.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kines O'Reilly. Go ahead.
Yep. Here comes the disinfo. Allegedly, with a study that this woman did showed that overall French men had the biggest dongs.
Really?
And this lady slept with like 100 guys, and she.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know about this or
no? I was just.
She might have just said it because she's French, and but
she's only had French. Yeah, they have got such huge 3.5-inch dicks.
And I remember telling that to my uncle, and he said, "Well, they must be all cock and no balls then."
Because you're a Republican uncle.
And everybody hates the French.
Yeah. Freedom fries, motherfucker. So next week, I want five swipe rights at least. Swipe rights.
Oh yeah. Is that the like?
I just need to do my hair. Yeah. I just need to do my hair.
Yeah, we'll shave you up tomorrow, you animal.
That was so not rowdy.
God damn it.
And try the diamond ring thing, too.
Be a pterodactyl.
Why wouldn't you be a opossum? Ooh, that one. Okay, I want to apologize for that.
I don't
Where's the button? That's not funny, motherfucker.
Not funny. All right, well, fuck. It's gonna be a short one today, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I forgot to say that from right off the bat. You want to tell the ladies anything, Marcus? Anything they can do to get ready for your coming Tinder storm of cock?
Yeah.
Just bathe.
Isn't that the new George R.R. Martin Game of Thrones book? Is Storm of Cocks?
Blizzard of dongs.
bathe in dress.
Speaking of which, god damn it, he needs to fucking get on his horse and.
It's driving me fucking crazy, man.
Okay, can we bash George R.R. Martin and his dick loving ass right now? That son of a bitch. They never should have. They like. It's like giving somebody a little bit of heroin that just loves heroin, and then
it's a real reality that the show is going to surpass the book.
Oh god!
And that sucks because everything else came from his head, and you kind of want him to steer it.
Yeah. And I don't want him to rush the books either.
I don't want him to screw the books up.
Yeah.
I'm in the same fucking boat, man.
What are you talking about?
Game of Thrones.
Oh, and he's
this fucking cunt. He not only does HBO
fat cunt that likes flaccid penises,
big ass floppy dicks. No, he got me hooked.
Me too.
And then he pulled it away. You know, the motherfucker takes 5 years to write one of these books. It seems like.
Well, they're the size of the fucking Bible. And maybe he had a 4 or 5 book head start on the show. Was the 5th book out when the show started, or
I don't think so.
I think 4 of them were.
Because HBO only does one season a year.
And one season so far has pretty much gone. A season is about the covers a book.
Yeah,
for the most part.
The
until
last
recently.
Season, it was a little bit different. I think
because the first season was pretty much the first book, right? We would say.
Yes, and the second season was the
second book. Third season may have been where they started to get.
Yeah, they started blending them a little bit.
Right. There's 5 books. There's been 3 seasons. 4 seasons.
4 seasons.
So there's been 4 seasons. There's 5 books. There's supposed to be 2 more books to come. Everybody's waiting on this fucking 6th book, and he might not get it finished, or the last 2 finished, or is it going to be 1 book now?
He's almost dead.
No, it's going to be bigger than all
What's
of them.
going on?
There's still going to be 7 books.
He's taking forever to finish them,
he takes forever.
And the show the problem is it's getting to the point where the show.
They've got one more season. They've got
so
maybe
they're
2.
Be doing
they're gonna have to write
series
it themselves.
every.
Yeah, they've got maybe 2 seasons of material
or something.
left.
Either that, or they're gonna have to wait. For
start shortening the.
I think they're gonna do it like The Walking Dead right now, because they're starting to catch up with their comic book series also.
Yeah.
And I realized this season, and actually they did it last season too, where they split everybody up. And it's like they can start drawing it out once they split the group up.
So that a season doesn't cover a whole book and covers like a 1/4 of a book.
And everybody's split up now in the books. So
yeah, that's kind of how they look like they were headed.
Yeah,
you're right. Like they can just because on The Walking Dead they're doing shit now where they're making 1 episode about one character.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to draw that shit out,
and they're showing their backstory and shit.
That's what I was gonna say.
I just hope it doesn't ruin this
things.
Like you said, I hope whatever they have to do doesn't hurt the quality of the books or the series, because the show and the books are amazing.
The show's I know, but the show kind of pisses me off too a little bit, because they changed some things that really was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's always gonna be that's always gonna happen. They're always gonna take some creative freedom and change some shit for whatever reasons.
And that's what you get for being a cunt that reads the fucking book.
Yeah,
right there.
The books are pretty fucking. Where are you at on the books?
I'm up to date with them. Yeah.
Did you like number 4?
Yeah,
that's the one most people hate, and I admit that it's a drop off of.
It's been so long now. Okay, what was book 5? Was that book 5?
Book 5.
Let's
got back into the characters that you cared about. Is why it was better.
Oh, okay.
4 a lot of people didn't like because people just.
I love Arya. I can't wait until she fucking gets to fight somebody or do something.
I like Tyrion and Arya.
He's a bad little motherfucker. Anyways, all right, we're starting.
Joffrey was the man. Rest in peace, Joff.
Yeah. Shouts to Joffrey Baratheon, or should I say Lannister?
I love.
Dun dun dun.
He was such a little that guy. By the way, before we leave, that plays Joffrey, he said he's going to quit acting.
He was in.
He says he does not like he doesn't like the attention or the fame he's gotten. From
I'm
the show.
sure everybody hates his fucking face.
Wasn't he in that Planet of the Apes too?
I haven't seen it.
Not the new one, the one before this one. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, they all blend together.
The one with
Rise
James
of
Franco.
the Planet of the Space Monkeys.
I haven't seen it yet.
All right.
He gets electrocuted and killed.
Does he? Oh yeah.
That's him.
Yeah. Have you ever seen
cunt fuck.
the split screen of Caligula in him?
No.
He looks exactly like Caligula.
Ugh.
I mean, Joffrey, that guy that plays, looks
the real
exactly
Caligula?
like the real. If you put like Joffrey Caligula in, it pops up, and I mean, it's almost all they have of Caligula is a sculpture of him, but it's pretty.
Right. Yeah.
But it looks exactly like Joffrey. It's crazy. Which is because he's pretty much the show.
More importantly, now that you mention it, are dicks getting bigger, or did they just every person that was worthy to get a sculpture made of them back in the Greek and Roman times just have tiny cocks?
I think part of it was they were flaccid. You know, because
is it cold?
Most guys aren't. When most guys send a picture, of
I have a
dick,
terrible looking flaccid dick.
Right.
It's not.
Because in any of the sculptures, none of them are erect.
That's true.
Just like some like raging like
they were obviously.
You would think they would
George R.R. Martin school of showing dong back then.
Like,
you would think
have some chick sitting there just like
you would think it like with as
stroking.
sex-centric as the Greeks were and everything.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this on public. Make this public knowledge right now.
Good.
When you guys make a sculpture of me when I die, I want to be rock hard and huge in my sculpture.
You got
it.
Do
you want to be holding it?
Yeah.
Okay. One hand on it, 2 hands on it. One hand. I like one hand.
I think if you go one hand
and another hand
and the rest of it.
Yeah. Like maybe pointing at the sky and lightning's coming out of.
I like it.
Yeah.
Or holding an orb of light.
Yeah. Or like a big eagle is about ready to land on my hand while I hold. And I'm like, I guess.
and I want squirts.
Fire shooting out of it.
Yeah, just coming.
Like you're cock Zeus or something.
It's just like.
Anyways, all right, this shit's winding down. Follow us all on Twitter, and you'll get more witty and feminine-centric remarks such as these. I am at Danny Admire. He, the guy to my left over here, is at Munkus CMP. Cave music, bitch. And then the other guy is St. Kines.
Why did I do that?
Kines at St. Kines, at Munkus CMP, at Danny Admire. And as always, the downloads aren't going up any, so you motherfuckers that listen to this, just do me that one favor. Even if you listen through it once, listen to the album once if you fucking download it. But it's the very first mixtape, the Epsilon mixtape, cavemusicproductions.bandcamp.com. Enter 0 into the price, and you get it for free. Or, like we said before,
do them a solid like our sculptures.
Yeah, download it with a raging heart on that's shooting fire and
an eagle landing
and light
and orb of light.
All right, the song of the week. I had not thought about it, and I don't know if many people have heard this before. Then I apologize. Enjoy it anyways. Go old school and enjoy it. But we got Atmosphere-Shrapnel off of God Loves Ugly, and tell your moms that we said hi. And thanks for listening. CaveCast, bitch.
Yeah.
Can't remember who asked me, but someone asked me how long I thought that I would be allowed to top this trash heap. I didn't answer cause I'm tired of criticizing the masses, inspired to support the devouring of self. All the power to the people who dig potholes. Place me in a glass case full of lost treasures and fossils. Got a right to be hostile. My love is getting gang raped by an army full of money hungry crocodiles. Quantity is up, market in a flood, but the party over here is never steered through so much love. I'll take the laughter, but I'd rather have the women. Who am I kidding? I'll be content with whatever I'm given. Work for food, rent, sex, money, or water. I don't know what else that you have to offer. Your firstborn daughter, no need, already got her. She came to the set hungry and left hot and bothered. My posse's full of women, computer nerds and thugs. Much to my dismay, I'm none of the above. Someday I'ma be the Mac of the minute, and it was so damn good I'ma have to forget it. Listen to the mimic, it's almost on. Drink ticket, hit me with a tall potion. Think quick, how much more insult will it take for me to break your light bulb? Shrapnel, shards of pulled cards scattered on the carpet. It's hard to breathe cause you wear a fitted target. Tug upon a choke chain, travel the cold rain. Of course I came to show you shrapnel. Shards of pulled cards scattered on the carpet. It's hard to breathe cause you wear a fitted target. Tug upon a choke chain, travel the cold rain. Of course I came to show you shrapnel. Check your mail, climb your ladder, count the pieces you've managed to gather. Does it matter? What are you trying to achieve? Let go of your throat if you're dying to breathe. And finally we've begun to make a little progress. Ain't a single rock in this river that can stop us. Lost in the mix like a feeble overdub. Got me screaming at these sheep until these people know what's up. Yeah, Slug's back with his collection of hubcaps. Caught a buzz and brought a notebook full of love raps. Open the pipes and tuck that voice in. I'ma sit on this corner and nibble on my poison. Maybe once in a while I find a reason to smile, but most of the time it's spent deep in denial. It's all make-believe, I want the cake to eat, but this lake's too deep. Trying to stand on 2 feet, wondering about the thunder running through this blood. I try to keep my cool, but the hat fits too snug. Studied the love, took my degree, shoved it into a bottle, chucked it into the sea. Shards of pulled cards scattered on the carpet. It's hard to breathe cause you wear a fitted target. Tug upon a choke chain, travel the cold rain. Of course I came to show you shrapnel. Shards of pulled cards scattered on the carpet. It's hard to breathe cause you wear a fitted target. Tug upon a choke chain, travel the cold rain. Of course I've came to show you shrapnel.
You think we're gonna win? Do you wanna win? Are you gonna help me win?
Keep on working, keep on bullet. Keep on working, keep on bullet. Keep on working, keep on bullet.
Shrapnel, shards of pulled cards scattered on the carpet. It's hard to breathe cause you wear a fitted target. Tug upon a choke chain, travel the cold rain. Of course I've came to show you shrapnel. Shards of pulled cards scattered on the carpet. It's hard to breathe cause you wear a fitted target. Tug upon a choke chain, travel the cold rain. Of course I've came to show you shrapnel. Shards of pulled cards scattered on the carpet. It's hard to breathe cause you wear a fitted target. Tug upon a choke chain, travel the cold rain. Of course I've came to show you shrapnel. Shards of pulled cards scattered on the carpet. It's hard to breathe cause you wear a fitted target. Tug upon a choke chain, travel the cold rain. Of course I've came to show you shrapnel.